Keep an eye on him, Bull. Lights go off on the pace car. Get to the point where these cars are going to need fog lights out there as the pace car pulls off. And we get set for 100 laps. S&J Transportation Services of Lee, New Hampshire bring you the late model 100. Extra distance, extra incentives for these late model cars here at Lee USA Speedway, set to go to green flag racing. Here they come. Green flag. Three wide action out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. So early in the race, look out! That's Wayne Hillwell in trouble. Carl Fredrickson in trouble. And the 74 spins around. Yellow is out before we can complete a lap. Looks like we've got a flat tire on the 01 of Wayne Hillwell. Spun around up there, and luckily nobody piled into him. Carl Fredrickson went around as well in the 41, and we're under caution. We'll go back to the original lineup, with the exception of these cars that'll have to pit, including Wayne Hillwell in the old 01, who'll need a right rear tire when he goes into the pits. We still have 100 laps to go. We have started the race, but we haven't completed a lap. Pace car is off. Ron Bolduc and Mike Johnson in the front row. Green flag. Side by side for the lead on the backstretch. Ron Bolduc, Mike Johnson, J.R. Burrill right there. Johnson trying the high side of Bolduc in the battle for the lead. As Bolduc hangs top on the inside. Johnson by a nose at the stripe. Bolduc comes back on the inside. Burrill watches from third. Scott Sargent is fourth. James Brown is fifth. Trouble for one car. Up against the wall. Dropping fluid all over the racetrack. Caution flag is out. '79 of Brian Grant's dropping fluid all over the racetrack as he coasts down the front stretch. As caution comes out with 3 laps complete. Pace car is off. Again, Ron Bolduc and Mike Johnson in the front row. Here they come. Green flag for the restart. And the battle for the lead continues. Ron Bolduc in the 95, Mike Johnson in the 11. Now James Brown is there in the 28, and Fulton Mountain in the 7. Bolduc the leader as James Brown challenges Mike Johnson for second. Brown down on the inside. Johnson a little bit loose, gathers it back up out of the 4th turn, and now James Brown trying the high side. Look out, trouble for Fulton Mountain. And Charlie Bodwell comes around in the 73. Fulton Mountain appears to have a flat tire as he is stopped up in the 2nd turn. Caution flag is out. His car gets set to pull off in that battle between Ron Bolduc and now James Brown. We'll get underway as soon as we go back to green flag as they hit the 3rd turn. Here they come. Green flag. the battle for the lead down the front stretch. Bolduc on the inside. James Brown on the outside. Down the back stretch and through the third and fourth turn. Bolduc continues to lead. Now Bob Patch slows down in the number 10. Bob Patch in trouble in the Papa Bear Car Care Center, car number 10. Slows on the racetrack and he'll go to the pit area. Although maybe he forgot that the pits are in the infield, but he's gone to the regular pits. James Brown is the leader. Ron Bolduc runs second. Mike Johnson is third. Scott Bonney up to fourth. Then it's Billy Clark and Charlie Russo. Mike LaRochelle on the move in the number 1. LaRochelle's down underneath Russo to pick up a position. And Wayne Helliwell trying to follow him through. James Brown continues to show the way around. Ron Bolduc runs second. The early leader, Mike Johnson, is third. Scott Bonney is fourth. Billy Clark is fifth. Mike LaRochelle is sixth. Wayne Helliwell Jr. is seventh. Charlie Russo is eighth. Tom Fuller is ninth. Scott Sargent is 10th with 13 laps complete. Car spun out in the second turn over there, just on the other side of those haulers. Kind of hard to see from this vantage point, but the caution flag comes out on lap 14. Yellow is out for a car that is spun on the racetrack over, just off the racetrack on turn 2. So the caution flag comes out. We're under yellow once again, now with 14 laps complete. 21 also goes to the pits. That's Corey Boudreau out of Warwick, Rhode Island. Regular runner at the Seacon Speedway. Brings his number 21 down onto pit road. On pit road, that's Richard Knight out of Marlow, New Hampshire. His old Cutlass also on pit road. Here tonight at Lee USA Speedway. Immediately following this one, we'll have the hobby stock feature as the pace car pulls off. Look for the green flag in turn 3. Here they come. Green flag. Wide racing action through the third and fourth turn, and now Scott Bonney in trouble in the 25 as he pulls up to the high side of the racetrack. And we got another caution flag. 25, Scott Bonney. stopped up on the top of the racetrack. Brings out the caution flag. 15 laps complete. As work continues on, Scott Bonnie's number 25 down on pit road. Looks like they won't be able to make the restart as we get set to go back to green flag racing. Here they come. Green flag. James Brown back in the lead. Ron Bolduc for second. Mike Johnson in the 11 is third. Billy Clark moving on the outside in the 44 as they race off the fourth turn and down the front stretch. Here they come. James Brown out in front. Bolduc still second. Wayne Helliwell in the 01 now looking to the low side of Billy Clark. That's the battle for fourth with Helliwell on the inside and Clark on the outside. Right behind them is Mike LaRochelle and Charlie Russo in the 22. Black flag for Chris Sullivan in the number 3, coasting around on the inside of the racetrack. Comfortable lead for James Brown in the 28. Ron Bolduc runs second. Mike Johnson is third. Wayne Helliwell is fourth. Billy Clark is fifth. Mike LaRochelle is sixth. A couple of cars loose in the first and second turn. Charlie Bodwell, one of them in the 73, gathers it back up. Yellow is out. Caution flag is out, something on the racetrack. Caution on the racetrack, 21 laps complete. Brown and Ron Bolduc will dice it out again. Here they come. Green flag. James Brown rockets back into the lead as Ron Bolduc holds on to that second spot. Battle for third between Mike Johnson in the 11, Wayne Helliwell in the 01, Mike LaRochelle right there in the number 1, and J.R. Burrell in the 17. They are all together, bumper to bumper. Look out, Bolduc gets loose, down off the racetrack, back up, and Mike Johnson gets underneath, trying to take that spot away. Here comes Mike LaRochelle to follow right through. LaRochelle with a great move down on the inside, pulls up into the fourth spot. Charlie Russo follows through. And just like that, Ron Bolduc has drop-kicked back several spots after getting loose back there in the first and second turn. Brown continues to lead. Helliwell now second and on his way to go and try and catch James Brown. Mike Johnson runs in the third spot. Then several car lengths behind that is Mike LaRochelle, fourth. Charlie Russo is fifth. J.R. Burrell is sixth. The 74 of Ron Constantino is seventh, and Fulton Mountain runs eighth. Ron Bolduc back to ninth, and Scott Sargent is 10th. That's after 25 laps. Charlie Russo tries to get down underneath Mike LaRochelle, and there's no room there going into turn 3. It's a 3-car race for the lead between James Brown, Wayne Helliwell, and Mike Johnson. Now Russo gets down underneath LaRochelle, and he tucks it down behind Russo. As LaRochelle goes to 5th, and he's got J.R. Burrill to contend with now. As Burrill moves by on the inside. Burrill goes to 5th. Caution flag is out. Trouble in the first and second turn. Fulton Mountain is up there. As is Mike LaRochelle in the number 1. Tom Fuller in the 14. Few cars involved up there in the first and second turn. Brings out the caution flag on lap 31. We'll get back to green flag racing next time. 30 laps complete out of the S&J Transportation late model 100. And a new leader, Wayne Helliwell in the 01. Charlie Russo right there in the 11. J.R. Burrill in the 17, who made a pit stop earlier and has fought his way back through the pack. He is in the 3rd spot, and then Scott Sargent in the 66 starts 4th outside of the 2nd row. Here they come for the restart. Green flag. Helliwell in the lead. Burrill goes to 2nd. Charlie Russo is 3rd. Charlie Bodwell in the 73 is 4th. Then Billy Clark in the 44, making his way up through. Clark runs 5th. Scott Sargent is 6th. Corey Boudreau is 7th in the number 21. Here are the leaders off the 4th turn. Wayne Helliwell Jr. 2 second-generation drivers up front. Helliwell in the 01, Burrill in the 17. Charlie Russo runs 3rd in the 22, and Charlie Bodwell is 4th in the 73. Burrill content to follow Helliwell around as we haven't even reached the halfway mark of this 100-lap event. Front 3 cars have once again pulled away into a race of their own. Helliwell in the 01, Burrill in the 17, and Russo in the 22. Charlie Bodwell in the 73 runs 4th. Billy Clark is 5th. The 21 of Corey Boudreau is 6th. 66 of Scott Sargent is 7th. 28 of James Brown is 8th. 41 of Carl Fredrickson is 9th. And the 12 of Kerry Heath is 10th. That's the top 10 as they come around to complete 39 laps. Now 40 laps complete, 10 laps away from some bonus money. $200 to the leader of the 50th lap from Madden Racing. The 14 of Tom Fuller slows on the inside of the racetrack. is on pit road. Tough break for the Snapple beverage sponsor, car number 14 of Tom Fuller. Now J.R. Burrill pulling up on the back bumper of Wayne Helliwell, knowing that in just 7 laps there's an extra $200 on the line, the halfway bonus. Three wide action, and look out, something has to give, and it does. Kerry Heath gets turned around in the first and second turn. Caution flag is out. Yellow is out on lap 44. Car is off, and here they come for the restart. Green flag. And a battle for the lead as the two leaders touch off the fourth turn. Wayne Helliwell and J.R. Burrill just touched, and now Charlie Russo underneath Burrill in a battle for the second spot. Wayne Helliwell has got himself now a comfortable lead as Burrill and Russo dice it out for second. Now Burrill is in second, Russo is third, and the battle for fourth between Billy Clark and James Brown. They are side by side. Laps complete this time, and now J.R. Burrill is back in the hunt for that halfway bonus. Here they come off the fourth turn and down the front stretch. Next lap, somebody gets an extra $200. J.R. Burrill knows it as he looks to the outside of Wayne Helliwell. He'll come to the cross flags, and halfway through the S&J Transportation Late Model 100. Here they come for that extra $200 bonus, and Helliwell will hold on to win at the halfway mark. Burrill is second. Russo is third, and oh! Helliwell turns in the corner. Helliwell gets spun. Caution flag is out on the halfway mark. Watch for the green flag in turn 3. Here they come. There's the green flag. Almost a standing start as J.R. Burrill is back in the lead. Now James Brown down underneath Billy Clark in the 44. Brown trying to take over that second spot. And James Brown goes to second. Billy Clark hung up on the outside, has Mike Johnson down underneath in the 11th. Johnson goes to third. Clark is fourth. Scott Sargent is fifth. Wayne Helliwell is back up to sixth spot. A leader a few laps back has come all the way from the back after a pit stop. Kerry Heath on pit road in the number 12. leads. Brown is second. Mike Johnson is third. Billy Clark is fourth. And now a battle for fifth between Scott Sargent in the 66 and Wayne Helwell in the 01. Trouble up in the third and fourth turn. Yellow is out as we've got a few cars involved. 66 of Scott Sargent, the 7 of Fulton Mountain, and the 01 of Wayne Helwell. He's having a tough night. Pace car is off. Here they come. Green flag. J.R. Burrill back in the lead. James Brown is second. Mike Johnson is third. Charlie Russo in the 22J runs fourth. Billy Clark is fifth. Carl Fredrickson is sixth. Mike LaRochelle seventh in the number 1, and Wayne Helwell again trying to work his way back up front in the 01. Burrill continues to lead. James Brown staying with him. Mike Johnson for third. Charlie Russo with him for fourth. Then Billy Clark all by himself in fifth. Carl Fredrickson is sixth. Mike LaRochelle is seventh. Wayne Helwell is eighth. Charlie Bodwell is ninth. Scott Sargent is 10th in the 66. Free fireworks show out there as we start to get some lightning in the skies. Here's hoping that's going to hold off so we can get through the rest of the event. J.R. Burrill in a comfortable lead in the number 17. J.R. Burrill was 10th in the point standing last year. And the guy that's chasing him, James Brown, was 8th in points. Coming around to complete 67 laps. Caution flag comes out. Yellow is out as we're starting to get enough rain on the racetrack to make it slick with 67 laps complete. Caution flag comes out. And we got the checkered flag as we're not going to be able to restart the race, so it becomes official with 67 laps complete, as the rule was that as long as half the race was over, it could be considered a race, and this one is. The checkered flag comes out, and the winner is J.R. Burrill in the 17. The 28 of James Brown finishes second. And third goes to car number 11, Mike Johnson. Those are the top three. We'll give you the rest of the rundown as much as we can, but looks like we'll be unable to continue this race, and as long as we got halfway through, it is considered a race. So we have a winner of the S&J Transportation Late Model 100. That's J.R. Burrill in the number 17. Those of you that were waiting for the hobby stock feature, that'll be run next week. There'll be 2 hobby stock features run next week here at the USA Speedway. We'll give you the rest of the rundown as we know it. We said the 17, J.R. Burrill, the winner. James Brown second. Mike Johnson, the 11, third. The 22 of Charlie Russo, fourth. The 44 of Billy Clark, fifth. And that's all we know at this point, the top 5, as the NASCAR scorers continue to sort it out. And the victory lane ceremonies will begin as the awards from S&J Transportation will be handed out in victory lane. The first race of next week's program will be the hobby stock feature left over from tonight, and then a full program including the Superfast Super Modifieds next week, along with the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Pro Stocks, late models, street stocks, and the hobby stocks in 2 feature events next Friday night. All right, well, the rain-shortened feature event. Let's go to victory lane. Stu Lord is standing by with J.R. Burrill. Stu?
It's too bad it had to end on the rain, but hey, that's the way it goes. We said after 50 it was official. It was a great race you and James Brown had towards the end, and congratulations.
Yeah, Stu, seemed like a long race. There were an awful lot of yellows. I didn't think it was ever going to rain, and I was just praying for rain, and I said, this rain harder, rain harder. My right leg started to get hurt from pushing the gas pedal, and I'm just glad it ended, and I got my first win in the late model here, and having a lot of fun.
Well, it was a good show tonight. Again, the weather kind of hurt a little bit, but you know, all the guys put on a terrific show. And what do you think about doing the pit stops? That's a little tough.
Yeah, we didn't seem to have any problem with it. We had George Church. We talked with him all week about it, and we talked about what we were going to do, and we discussed it all, and it all worked out good for us.
Get Jimmy Daly to come down here for just a second. I know he wants to congratulate you, owner of S&J Transportation, and tonight's sponsor of the S&J Transportation Late Model 100.
Congratulations. Congratulations, JR, on a great race.